What's up, metalheads? Welcome back to another video, and I'm finally here to give you guys my year-end video for albums of the year. So this is going to be top 15 albums of 2019, and now I couldn't include everything that I enjoyed throughout the year, but I thought I picked out some pretty good albums for my list. A lot of people would probably disagree with my list, but that's fine because this is my list, my opinion. So yeah, don't give me any hate just because you didn't see an album of yours that you put in your list. But just because I didn't put an album in this list doesn't mean that I didn't like it, and it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't have room for everything that I heard throughout the year, because believe me, 2019 was a really great year for metal and rock music. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with number 15. Okay, number 15 is I the Mask by In Flames. And now, while this was one of my most listened albums of the year, I still think that this is probably my least favorite out of all 15 albums in this video, so that's why I'm putting it in at number 15. While I don't think it's a bad album, I feel like the rest of the albums that's in this list are better albums. But still, I the Mask by In Flames is a great album. I really like the song I Am Above, I the Mask, Voices, that was a great song, Call My Name, Burn, just to name a few. But yeah, still a really good album for what it is. Probably their best album since 2008 or 2011. Just a pretty good album. Not my favorite out of the year, but still deserved to be in the top 15 at least. Okay, number 14 now. This band released 2 albums this year, so I'm putting both albums together. And number 14 belongs to War and Peace by Christian metalcore band Demon Hunter. And now, you guys are probably wondering, like, wow, he's a big fan of both of these albums, but why is he putting them so low? Well, because the replay value for both of these albums hasn't been that strong throughout the rest of the year. So yeah, because when they first came out, I listened to them more, but as time went on and on, I guess I didn't listen to them as much, so that's probably why I'm putting them so low on the year-end list, but still great albums. Okay, number 13 is a band that many people didn't ever have in their year-end list, but hey, I respect their opinion either way. But number 13 is The Simulation by progressive metalcore band Born of Osiris, and I have to include this album. I have to. It was a great album back in January, and it's still a great album at the end of 2019. So yeah, it's still a really great album. I know it's only 8 songs, but this album is fantastic. Definitely recommend it for any fan out there of metalcore. Just a really great album. Only 8 songs, but still a great album. Just really enjoyed it. Probably my favorite Born of Osiris album. Maybe, I don't know, because their other albums are great too, honestly. Okay, number 12 is another metalcore album, and it is by Christian metalcore band War of Ages and their album Void. And sorry guys, I'm looking down my list because I couldn't remember all by heart. But yeah, number 12 is Void by Christian metalcore band War of Ages. And now, I think this album definitely belongs in anyone's year list, because it's a really heavy album and definitely one of their best albums, I think. If not their best, just a really great album. Don't have much else to say about it, but Void by War of Ages is definitely worthy of being in my top 15 albums of 2019. Just a fantastic album. Okay, number 11 is After the Burial's album, Evergreen. And now, this album is fantastic. It still holds up for me well, even at the end of 2019. Just a really fantastic album. If you're into like progressive metalcore or even gent music, then this album is for you, because gent is like a fusion genre of progressive metal. So yeah, but yeah, Evergreen, still fantastic album after all this time. Just enjoy it. Really love the song Behold the Crown and 1126 and some other songs. Just a fantastic album. Definitely need to get a physical copy of that album when I get the chance to. Just a fantastic album. Definitely recommend it for anyone. Okay, now we're in the top 10. Okay, number 10. Now, this album might seem a little bit low for my ranking as well, but I figured the rest of the albums were better. But number 10 belongs to The Nothing by nu metal band Korn. And had to put this in my year-end list, because why not? Because Korn is one of the greatest nu metal bands out there, if not the best nu metal band out there. But that's hard to decide, honestly, because there's other great nu metal bands out there as well. But Korn is definitely the pioneers of nu metal, honestly. But yeah, The Nothing is a fantastic album. I wouldn't go on to say it's better than The Serenity of Suffering or their 2013 album, but The Nothing is still a great album, and you can just feel the emotion put into this album when it comes to Jonathan Davis's vocals on the songs, because of how he lost his wife last year in 2018. It's just a sad story. But yeah, rest in peace to Jonathan Davis's wife, because he went through a hard time. But yeah, The Nothing is still a great album. Okay, number 9 is a progressive album, progressive metal album, I mean. And the album is by Dream Theater, their newest album and the latest. And the album is called Distance Over Time. And now, I haven't listened to this album as much as others, but I still do like the song. I liked I don't remember all the song names, but I did like the first single. The second single was good, and some of the other songs. I don't remember any of the song names right now, but I still do like Distance Over Time by Dream Theater, and I definitely think it earned its spot within my top 10, but it's in at number 9. Really great album. Okay, number 8 is Disguise by Motionless in White. And now you guys are probably like, wow, he has Disguise only in at number 8 when it's one of his favorite albums of the year. Yes, because like I said before, Disguise by Motionless in White is a great album, but I don't think it's the best album of the year. While it is a great album, very diverse, just it didn't crack my top 5, because the rest of the albums that I have left for this list are better, but that's not saying much, because Disguise is a fantastic album. Really enjoy Undead Ahead 2, the title track, Headache, Catharsis, just to name a few. But yeah, Motionless in White's latest album, Disguise, is definitely worthy of being in my top 10. Okay, number 7 is an album that I promised that would be in my top 10 of the year, and that is Knocked Loose in their album A Different Shade of Blue. And if you're a fan of metalcore, then this album is definitely for you, even though it's like a mixture of metalcore and hardcore. But either way, this album is definitely for you. Just a really great album, and it's great to have a band from Kentucky that I can enjoy. I'd like to see them in concert one day, because that would be awesome. But yeah, this album, A Different Shade of Blue, definitely a must-have for any metalcore and hardcore fan. Just a fantastic album. Okay, number 6 is by Queensryche, and it's their album The Verdict. And this is like their second album with Tom Latour on vocals. But yeah, this album is amazing. Definitely their best album, I would say, since probably Empire. But that's hard to decide, because some of their other 90s material was good too. But yeah, The Verdict had to be in my list. Just missing the top 5, but still a great album. Okay, number 5. Can't believe we're on number 5 already. But number 5 is Of Mice and Men and their album Earth and Sky, and this is definitely one of the best metalcore albums of the year, in my opinion. Some might disagree with me, but some also might agree with me. But yeah, I think this album definitely belongs in the top 5. So that's why I'm putting it in at number 5. Just a really great metalcore album. And like I said when I reviewed that album, I still have the same opinion. I think Earth and Sky is of Mice and Men's best album since 2011's album, The Flood. Just a really great album. Okay, number 4 is a thrash metal album, and the band is Overkill and their album The Wings of War. Also had to put this on here because, why not? Because Overkill, all of their 2010s stuff is fantastic, but The Wings of War, their 2019 album, definitely had to make the year-end list for me, because definitely one of my favorite thrash metal albums of the year, if not my favorite thrash album of the year. Just fantastic album, and definitely a must-have for not just any Overkill fan, but for any thrash metal fan as well. Just an amazing album that I think a lot of people would enjoy. Okay, now the next 3 albums are my top 3. So number 3 is Atonement by Killswitch Engage. And now, while I think this album goes by way too fast every time I listen to it, I still think it's a great album. My only complaint though with Atonement by Killswitch Engage is that I wish there was a special edition, but there isn't, because their previous albums before it all had special editions, but that doesn't mean anything, I guess. I just wish the album was longer, because some of the songs on there are short, like I Am Broken 2. Forgot to tell y'all that before. The thing about I Am Broken 2, I do like that song. I just feel like it could have been a longer song. At least, it should have at least been 3.5 minutes, because 2 minutes and 40 seconds is just too short. But either way, I Am Broken 2 is definitely one of my favorites on the album. I just wish it was a longer song, because it is a great song. I just wish it was longer. But yeah, that's my only complaint though with Atonement by Killswitch Engage. I wish it was a longer album, and I wish it had a special edition, but still a great album nonetheless, of course, because it's Killswitch Engage. They gotta be in my top 3 for sure. Fantastic album. Didn't really like it that much at first, but when I heard it more and more, I'm like, okay, this album has grown on me, so yeah, it's grown on me ever since. Just a fantastic album. Definitely belongs in the top 3 for anyone, myself included. Fantastic album. Okay, number 2 is also a metalcore album, and when I reviewed this album, I said this is my favorite metalcore album of the year, or one of my favorite metalcore albums of the year, something like that, and I actually stand by that, and I actually meant that, because it is the best metalcore album of the year in my opinion, and that is Shaped by Fire by As I Lay Dying. And this was their very first album in 7 years, since 2012. But despite the controversy with lead vocalist Tim LaBassist, I still really enjoy Shaped by Fire by As I Lay Dying. Just a fantastic album. Definitely a great comeback for the band. Some favorites from the album would be the title track, Gatekeeper, Undertow, My Own Grave, Redefined with Jake Lurs of August Burns Red. Just to name a few, but yeah. This album is fantastic. Definitely an album for any metalcore fan out there. Just a fantastic album, and it definitely had to be in my top 3. I mean, just a fantastic album. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to number 1. Okay, now, a lot of people would probably disagree with my number 1, but remember guys, this is just my opinion, but my number 1 pick is an album that I wasn't really feeling in at first, but I enjoyed it more on the second and third listen. And my number 1 an album of 2019 is We Are Not Your Kind by Slipknot. And this album is fantastic. I really enjoyed songs Unsainted, Soulway Firth, Birth of the Cruel, Orphan, Nero Forte. What was that one song? Not Long for This World. I think that's the name of the song. Just a really great song. Very, very underrated, because I don't hear many people talking about this song. But yeah, overall, I do enjoy We Are Not Your Kind. Just a fantastic album, and definitely has been my album of the year without a doubt, even though the other albums in this year-end list are great too. But even albums that aren't in my year-end list, I still enjoyed those. But yeah, but other than that, y'all let me know y'all's top 15, top 20, top 30, top 40 albums of the year. But me, this is top 15 albums of 2019. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I definitely want to see you guys in 2020. But other than that, y'all, thanks for watching this video, and like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay heavy, and I'll see y'all in the new year. Peace.